Ladies and gentlemen, we're in trouble. The Premier League is in trouble. Final score at the Molineux. Manchester City have just dismantled Wolverhampton 4-0. The Premier League is in trouble. If this is what Man City are going to do to people week in, week out, the Premier League's in trouble. This is a team that looks like they're having fun. But at the same time, they look like they're there to accomplish a mission. Given to them by their evil leader in Pep Guardiola. This was an absolute massacre. Like, Manchester City, this is the most technical Man City team I've seen in a very long time. Having fun. Tricks and flicks. Scoring goals for fun. Obviously, the possession stuff, we know about it. And on top of that, they can afford to not start Rodri, injury. To not start Foden, injury. To not start Shirky, he was on the bench. To not start Marmoush, he was on the bench as well. Akanji was on the bench. Mateus Nunes was on the bench. And they still looked comfortable. From the moment you're able to bring on Marmoush and Shirky off the bench, wrap it up, people. And I know it's the first match day, but come on, people. You're not going to sit there and tell me that this is normal, because it's not. It is not. And on top of that, one of your subs comes on and scores. Wow. This is crazy. And you look at the price tag of some of these players that they got them in for. They got Shirky and Reijnders in for a combined, I don't know how much it is exactly, but less than 85 million. This is crazy. This is absolute nuts. This is absolutely nuts. But listen, let's get into the game. Man City start to the game like they always do. Lots of possession, knocking the ball around, trying to impose their style of play on the opponent. But don't get me wrong. Wolves, they were actually good, especially in the first half. I actually thought there was some fault behind the tactic of Pereira, of the manager, and they were actually trying to make things happen. One goal got ruled off for offside. Monetti was offside, and they could have scored more if they had taken their chances and made them count. So Wolves did try some stuff in the first half, and it looked like at certain points maybe they could. I'm not saying they have, but maybe they could have disturbed Manchester City a little bit and maybe put a little dent in Man City's confidence, because really and truly, nobody knew, ahead of the season how Man City were going to do. Was it just going to be the same of last season, or was it going to be different with a touch of something on top of it? And it proved to be the latter. First goal. I mean, do we even have to talk about it? And I want to talk about him at the end. Haaland gets on the score sheet. Lovely assist across the box from, who was it? From Oscar Bob. Nice goal. Easy. Tap in for Haaland. Second goal. Reijnders gets it. Counter attack from Manchester City. Wolves were a bit sloppy in their passing. 2-0. 3-0. Haaland again, I believe. Was it Haaland? Let me check. The 3-0 came through Haaland, yes. And then the last goal came from Ryan Shirky, who had come off the bench, like I said. Had some fun on the touchline, tricks and flicks. And then in the end, he, finds himself in a good shooting position, shoots with his weaker foot, scores. And it's actually ridiculous to have an ambi-pedal player like him come off the bench here and absolute, not dominate, but just have fun, man. It is absolutely criminal to see that. Let's get into some of the performances that I thought were really good. I like the back line, Rico Lewis. I was really surprised to see that he got linked with a move away from Manchester City, and Nottingham Forest had inquired or something. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would really surprise me if it does. I thought Rico Lewis was really good. The back line looked really solid. Obviously kept a clean sheet. James Trafford, first game back for Manchester City. First team now. There's rumours of Donnarumma coming in, etc., etc. But so far, so good. It's always good to start the season off with a clean sheet and you being the reason why you kept a clean sheet as a team. So James Trafford, I thought, was really good. When he did have something to do, he was there, he was present, he was commanding in his box. I don't think it's going to be any issues, when it comes to the goalkeeper. In midfield, I thought it was really solid. Nico Gonzalez, who seemed to be like the forgotten man, starts the season with Manchester City. Maybe now Pep has seen something in training. Well, we don't know, but maybe he's seen something that could help the team. And I thought he was actually good for large parts of the game. He would receive the ball and carry it for long distances and, dispatch the ball to his teammates. I thought he was actually good. Again, I'll save the one that I want to talk about for last. Who else was a midfield? I've got to check the phone quickly. There we go. Bernardo Silva. Listen, I'm of the opinion that it's slowly time to try and phase him out a little bit. And I think Pep is doing a bit too much by keeping the types of players like Bernardo Silva too long at the football club, to the point where you never want to keep them for too long because you don't want their legacy at the football club to be tarnished, which is why I think De Bruyne leaving the way he left was the perfect way. Even though they didn't end up winning a trophy last season, he left on his terms, and you could say that he left on a high. Staying at the club for too long could, like I said, tarnish one's legacy a little bit. It's the same with Gundogan as well. Obviously, he came back after a failed experiment at Barcelona, but keeping him at the football club could be detrimental to themselves before it is to the club, because as a player, you want to have a career as long as possible. And on top of that, Pep has not made things easier by making Bernardo Silva the captain of the club now. So I don't know. Personally, I would try and phase him out a little bit. Listen, he's done incredible things for Manchester City throughout his career and the time he's been at City, but it's slowly time, especially when you've brought in the likes of Reijnders and the likes of Shirky. I get that you want to try and bed him in, but some players you just throw them in there because they have so much talent that you have to throw them in there. The front line, Doku, I thought this was one of his more average games, I would say. Wasn't really that productive. Erling Haaland, of course, gets himself a brace. I mean, with Erling Haaland, I think everybody's come to terms with the idea that you don't really expect too much from him. You don't really expect too much from him. All you expect from him is just put the ball in the back of the net, mate. That's all I'm asking. And that's all you need to do for me if I'm your manager. Score goals, that's it. And I think he's done his job. He's done his job. The only time we question Haaland is when he doesn't score. What else can you do to affect the team in a positive way so that the team can win a game of football? That's the only time we question Haaland. Other than that, as long as he scores goals. I mean, I can sit here and talk about his overall play, etc. But in the end, if he scores, everybody shuts up, including myself. Oscar Bob. Honestly, I'm going to ask you the question, guys. Does this look like a player who just missed a whole season of football because of an ACL injury? Because I think not. This guy looks like they just signed him. The touches on the ball, the sharpness. Again, he just came back from an ACL injury and he is looking incredibly sharp. That Wolves defense were having troubles with him. That new left back that they got in, the Norwegian guy, Wolfer, whatever his name is, that number 6, he was struggling with Oscar Bob. He was running riot on that right-hand side from City's perspective, left-hand side from Wolves' perspective. Oscar Bob, man, listen, give this guy a run of games throughout the season and I promise you this kid will cause absolute damage. And I'm looking at Norway now and I'm thinking, hold on a minute, you guys got a pretty interesting front line, You got Nusa, you got Oscar Bob, Odegaard, Strand Larsen, who plays for Wolves, obviously, and Haaland. That's 5 quality players. Oscar Bob, man, he looks absolutely fantastic. What a player, man. What a player. And I hope, I pray as a neutral, looking at him, he's a fantastic footballer, man. Pray he stays fit, no more injuries, especially given the fact that it's a World Cup year. Hopefully he stays fit. Hopefully he stays healthy and he can help his country qualify. And yeah, man, just overall, this Manchester City team is so technical, so good on the ball. This is, like I said, this is probably the most technical I've seen Manchester City in a very, very long time. You know, like everybody is good on the ball. Like everyone, you can tell that there's a minimum requirement of being able to be technically efficient on the ball for you to be able to play in this Man City team. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. And I saved the best for last, man. Tijjani Reijnders. Tijjani Reijnders. Listen, they got this guy in for less than £50 million. In this day and age, in this current market in football, you'd have to pay £100 million to get a player of that quality. This guy can play in a 6. He lone 6 or with someone else. He can play in a double pivot. He can play as one of the 2 8s, both positions. He can score. He can create. He's physical, because we've seen certain points. I remember there was a time in the second half where he received the ball on the half turn. João Gomez comes to try and get the ball off him. Get off me. Just barges into him. João Gomez falls on the floor. This guy is a cheat code. He can do everything. The pass that he played over the defense, not even the pass, the chip over the defense to serve Oscar Bob and for Oscar Bob to square it to Haaland. Sublime. Absolutely sublime. That's where he shows his technicality, because before that, he's got the ball, loads of players coming around him, little, 2-touch with the ball, gone. Then he plays the chip over the top and then Oscar Bob squares it to Haaland, Haaland tap in, go. So he was involved in that. Then he scores a goal himself. Intercepts the ball. Was it actually him? I can't remember if it was him that actually intercepted the ball. But anyway, the ball gets intercepted by Manchester City. Counter-attack. Reijnders is free on the left-hand side. Finishes with his left. Gets his goal. Second half, on the right-hand side, just absolutely like a freight train. Just all the way through. Wolves' midfield. Wolves' defence. In the box. Cut back. Haaland, easy finish. Like, Reijnders is a fantastic footballer. These are the type of footballers that I pay my money to watch. This is what a modern day midfielder should be looking like. Where, yes, you look at the stats, but you can clearly see the quality. You can clearly see the technical ability. Oh man, wow. I said it. The Premier League is in trouble. If this is what Man City is going to do to people, week in, week out, and next week they're playing Spurs, forget it, man. Forget it. And Pep's just there on the bench just laughing. He's looking at this going, yeah. Absolutely ridiculous player, man. Tijjani Reijnders, my man of the match. He was by far the best player on the pitch. Stood out above everyone. Literally everyone. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, no, it's only the first game. Listen, if you didn't watch Reijnders at AC Milan, that's your problem. If you don't watch anything outside of the Premier League, that's your problem. But people, including myself, who have been watching him since he was at AC Milan, we know. We know. This is not strange to us. The only thing that's strange to me is that he's adapted so quick to the Premier League. First game of the season, and he's already adapted. Yeah, man, wrap it all up. Wrap it all up, man. But listen, Manchester City, you can definitely not, or you should not count them out, because a lot of people, I've seen a lot of prediction videos and stuff, and on TikTok as well. A lot of people don't predict them to win the league. Listen, I predicted Liverpool to win the league, but don't sleep on Manchester City. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, listen, let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's road to 20k, closing in on 18. Tomorrow, the big one. Man United, Arsenal. You know that one is going to be spicy. So yeah, listen, keep your eyes locked on my channel for that reaction coming tomorrow after the game. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Like I said, it's road to 20k, closing in on 18. Until then, people, take care. Have a good weekend. Have a good Saturday. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.